What up, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Ripken Show. My name is not Ryan Ripken. It's actually Brad Smith. Ryan is in Greece.
Yeah. Wish I was.
I wish I was in Greece, too. Have you seen the pictures?
It looks so nice. It's so pretty out there.
It's ridiculous. I've never been, but now I want to go.
Yeah.
So as we continue to go through things, look, we got a lot to talk about, regardless of whether or not Ryan is here, and I'm super pumped for today's show. A couple of things that we're going to cover. Obviously, the Conor Norby situation. Conor Norby was called up, and so we're going to talk about that and maybe ask the question as to why not Holiday? You know, Ryan is not here live in studio with us, but he did leave us with a little clip on his thoughts on why not Jackson Holiday. And then we're going to go ahead and do a little Blue Jays Orioles preview. They've already met this year, so it'll be interesting to see how things shake up there in Canada. Next up, we'll have the Ravens topics. Look, Patrick Queen is trying to play the villain, but is he trying too hard? We're going to answer that question later on as well. And then it prompted, this whole Patrick Queen tweet prompted a food war, which I feel like was the even bigger story here with Patrick Queen. So we're going to talk about that as well. Not only that, but we're getting into some more football news as well. Justin Jefferson had a huge deal, so it's going to spark a lot of conversations between me and the boys. And then we're getting into some soccer. I don't know if anybody cares about that. We're going to find out because we got a lot going on in the city when it comes to the English Premier League. A huge deal is coming here into the city, so I'm super pumped about that and super pumped to chat about it. And in studio with me, I have the one and only Kevin Ostreicher, Oyster Striker, whatever you want to call him, Striker.
Lot of names.
A lot of names for Kevin. And then, of course, you've already seen him, the man, the myth, the legend. We got Zach.
A lot less names than Kevin, but it's okay. I'll take it. I'll let Kevin be the nickname guy.
Do you have like a nickname?
I don't think so.
Z-Ball.
Nah.
Bali?
I mean, like Bali, like stuff like that over the year.
That would probably be the one.
Yeah, Bali, but
I didn't know if you had like a nickname for like your softball beer league or whatever.
Or a DJ name.
no, I'm not that cool yet, Kevin. I need a DJ name. You're gonna have to come up with one.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I don't have any clever nicknames either. I kind of wish I did, but I don't.
I know, Kevin. DJ Knockout, that's up there.
That's mine. Yeah.
DJ KO.
Well, people in high school called me Kevo because
that's not a nickname.
It's like a comment. It's I wouldn't capitalize. Like K Dog was the other one. Like that was the nickname. K Dog was the most popular one actually. I have a hat, you know, like the spray painted. Like
what? No way.
I went to someone's like bar mitzvah, and they had a hat spray painting station, and so I got K Dog in green and pink letters.
Do you still have that?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
why is it, you have to wear it?
You have to wear
I'll
that.
come in on Thursday and wear it. All right, I'll wear it on Thursday. I'll wear it on Thursday.
Holy shit.
K Dogs. Oh my god, Kevin.
God.
I feel like a lot of people have those hats.
No, they don't.
Then I guess I can sell it for a lot of money then.
Also, like have you been to bar mitzvahs? Obviously, they're huge parties, as you know.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the ones that like you see on TV? They're like the all out, like absolutely insane ones.
Not like crazy. I guess one of my friends had a bar mitzvah where he had a roller coaster simulator at the bar. I think that was like the craziest like activity, I guess, that was there, but not like the crazy like party like
like they rent out a whole hotel and stuff.
No, nothing like
tigers
that.
And shit.
I wish I went to a bar mitzvah like that. Although I think I'd have to do the Oklahoma drill with the tiger. That would be
if you went to a party with a tiger, I just feel like it'd be inevitable that you somehow come in direct contact with the tiger. Like I don't know how the situation
like in a
happened.
Fighting way.
I don't know.
Like in a Mike Tyson, a Mike Tyson kind of way.
Right.
Yeah, like I just feel like almost like The Hangover, where they just like wake up and there's somehow the tiger is in the house. Like I could see you being like,
100%.
I don't know how it happened, but I got stuck taking care of the tiger.
Became best friends with the tiger.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah.
You, the Tiger Banksy, were just
hanging out
all night.
Just hanging out. Three-legged tiger.
Banksy would
a three-legged
fancy
tiger.
himself a tiger for sure.
Yeah, right. I think so too.
A three-legged tiger. Jeez.
Anyways, next up, guys, look, we talked about the top of the show here. Also, I wanted to shout out again, Dim Sweets for the sick beats in the intro. Shout out to him. He's a local guy, a boy of mine who writes a ton of music, ended up sharing that with us so we can use it for the show. So shout out to you, Dim. Thanks for that. Next up, as I mentioned, Conor Norby, gents, getting the call, getting his debut in Toronto of all places. Thoughts and reactions to Conor Norby?
It was just time. I mean, I'm looking at his stats right now. Played 198 games in AAA. 198 games. That's just
a lot more than Jackson
a lot
Holiday,
of
right?
games.
A lot more. He took 913 at bats in AAA alone. That's almost, that's what, I guess, 1.5 times what Jackson Holiday has taken in the minors, period. I mean, Jackson Holiday's around 600. AAA alone, he batted 293 with a 365 OPS. I mean, he's such a utility player, and it's about time. I mean, I honestly, we talked about last night, Kevin. I just, if it wasn't now, when? Right. It was that kind of feeling like if they weren't going to give Conor Norby this shot, where it's most likely with Mateo on the 7-day concussion list, it's most likely a week or so up in the bigs. But if it wasn't this, I didn't know if he'd ever get the opportunity in Baltimore.
Yeah, I feel like he's a player that has deserves an opportunity for a while now. I mean, we talked about it before the show, guys. I mean, he's up on a major league roster on probably every other team except Baltimore, at least maybe one or two outliers there. But it made the most sense. We'll get into Jackson in a couple of minutes, but I just feel like for me, this is an opportunity for him. We don't know if Mateo's going to be back. Hopefully it's, he'll spend the days on the 7-day IL list for concussion. He'll be back. But Norby gets an opportunity, and whether this is okay, can he go and increase his trade value? It's just for him to be a major. I think it's so cool for him too, because of the stories that have come out. And there was I can't remember who wrote the article, but there was a quote here saying, look, I know I'm a good AAA player, but I don't want to be a good AAA player. Like, I want to get my shot. And so I think he has earned this for a while, and I'm happy for him. Yeah,
I think so too. And look, this is exactly what we've talked about all season long when it comes to these crazy prospects that the O's have down on the farm. And it all comes down to injuries, the depth. That's what, the organization is looking at. It's like, this is a good problem to have. And I know that there's a lot of fans out there that are itching to get these guys called up, but A, where do you put them? And B, what happens when somebody goes down? And so that's kind of what's going on here. Obviously, Mateo is an everyday starter for the O's up until the SETI incident. But, this is what having all that depth down on the farm does for the O's. You plug a guy in like Norby, and I think it should pay off. I mean, look, we'll get into the holiday conversation in a minute, but we also want to give your Rip's reaction as well to you guys. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't do this.
All right, so the news is out that Conor Norby is going to be activated, and first was reported by the beat reporters of the Baltimore Orioles, and they're great. They're tremendous. Shout out to them. And also then Jeff Passan confirms it. Now the move's not out. Who's it going to be for? Is Mateo going on the IL? Is it something else? Are we going to lose our minds? Probably. But this is what I love, at least in this case. I love that Conor Norby is getting an opportunity because, look, it's really tough to continue to be passed over. It's not that the Orioles don't think that Conor Norby is a talented player, but when you're looking at who they were valuing more at the time, they were valuing other players over Conor Norby, and he had to sit and wait. And also, there was production in the big league. So I think Conor's handled himself tremendously well. I think that he's earned it. He could have been in the big leagues with a lot of other teams, but now it's his moment to shine. Who knows what that looks like, but what's that mean for the Orioles? Well, you're getting a guy that can obviously do a lot of things at the plate, and he could have some grace period, but he also could hit the ground running. He's a polished hitter, has a good idea of what he wants to do, a good understanding. But above all, at least for this, I just want him to enjoy the moment. This is something that every player has been wishing to accomplish and to do. And he's waited for his turn. He's going to get his opportunity. And hopefully it's a way to really impact the birds. But we'll see what the move is. Congrats to Conor Norby. I think he's going to ball out. And, talk soon.
All right. So initial reactions from Rip. Zach, go.
I think I love the part where he said most of all, like, he earned it.
Yeah.
Like, if there was ever a guy in the Orioles minor league system, it felt like over the past year, it was him and Kyle Stowers, where it was like, what more do they physically have to do in the minors? They're just sitting there taking at bat after at bat with really nowhere else to go. And kind of to your point, Kevin, when Conor Norby said, yeah, I know I'm a good AAA player, but that's not what I want to be. I want to be a good major leaguer. just what an awesome moment. And he gets the start tonight. Like I think that was something I talked about on Twitter a little bit. Was this going to be a Kyle Stauer situation where, and Heston Kirsch said, where it's like, okay, Conor Norby's up, everyone's fired up.
Yep.
And that's like, okay, he started once in 7 games. They got one pinch hit opportunity. So super intrigued to see how it's treated, especially going forward. I think they definitely wanted to give Urias a day off after getting hit in the foot yesterday.
Yeah.
But man, if this is an opportunity for Norby to get 5-6 starts in a 7-day period, good for him. Just continue to, I've seen a few people say it reminds them of Joey Ortiz coming up last year. Very similar vibes to me.
Well, so, and Kevin, to that end, a lot of people wanting more of a Kobe Mayo. And I know that Norby's the second baseman, and that's essentially where he's replacing Mateo at second base. So there's that, but then also, for me, I am worried for Conor Norby if the trend continues, right? Like, is he only going to get one start, or is he actually going to get a legitimate chance? Because up until now, the only guy that's been called up that got a legitimate chance, in my opinion, has been Jackson Holiday. And obviously, we saw what happened there. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point because, and even when you're talking about Mayo and even a guy like Jackson, those are guys who we've all talked about it here. Those guys should be up and they should stay up and they should get every day at bats. And I think Norby, he's earned every day at bats in AAA, but there's also an adjustment period to the MLB, first of all. And second of all, I feel like for him, when Mateo comes back, where's the spot? I mean, I feel like they felt more comfortable with Norby coming up, giving him an opportunity, which he has earned. And then once Mateo comes back, the worst case for him is, okay, he gets sent back down. The best case is, all right, maybe he's in a platoon with Mateo and Urias gets DFA'd or something but I don't think they're going to do that. So I share your worry, Brad, where it's okay, he's going to be up and then Mateo comes back and he's just sent back down again. And that goes right into the Jackson conversation too, which now we're going to talk about well, you can't do that with Jackson. You can't just have him on this roller coaster. It feels like it's not fair to Norby either. I'm not saying it's fair to him, but I feel like the Orioles feel more comfortable doing that with Norby than with Jackson.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, at least up to this point in the season, that a lot of these guys that are top prospects have just been substitutes for folks for the everyday starters that are injured, and that's kind of just how they've been using them rather than letting them develop in the bigs. Which, look, it's a hard problem. That it's a good problem, but it's tough to navigate. And I don't know if there is a right answer to any of this when you have so much good talent surrounding around this ball club. So I get that. What were you going to say, Zach?
I was going to say, I think the biggest thing, and it's what we've talked about on the show for so long, this is how important the Orioles depth is, because you have a situation where you brought up your number one prospect, things didn't go well, so you want him to go down and mature a little, not mature, but get, in a rhythm, more stuff like that, continue to develop. Then you have your other top prospect, Kobe Mayo, goes down, he gets hurt. So, we don't know. Maybe if Kobe was 100% healthy, maybe it's him.
Yeah.
But then you have 2 guys in the infield get hurt and they're shaken up, and you're like, okay, where do you go? Well, the Orioles are like, we're so deep. Here's a guy who should be playing on any other ball team, any other organization, and is a former top 100 prospect, former top 50 prospect. So,
and there's multiple guys like that in Norfolk, which is crazy.
Literally.
Unreal. It is crazy. And I think, to your point, Brad, you're saying, like, what's the right answer? Is the right answer is it eventually a trade? I know that, Zach, we had talked about that, where it's like it just feels inevitable at this point, where
I agree.
They chose Jordan Westburg over Joey Ortiz. But when you're doing that, you're going to find at bats for Jackson. He's a part of the future. I mean, it just feels like they're going to use him eventually in a deal. He's a good player. He deserves opportunities. And look at what Joey Ortiz is doing in Milwaukee now. I mean, they have a lot of guys like that where they can package. They have a surplus. They can go and they can say, all right, here's an infielder, here's an outfielder. They need bullpen help. They need pitching help. I feel like that's where we're headed here.
Well, yeah, and I think so too. And if you look at the pitching and the health of the starting pitching rotation, and questionable as we get closer to the All-Star game, Bradish is not feeling great. And then you have Means. We just talked about this off air. His career could potentially be over. And so you got Suarez back in the starting rotation. So I think that the O's do have enough leverage. Now, whether or not Michael Elias is willing to pull that trigger, because we all know that he loves having the depth that he has. Is he willing to part with some of that depth in order to get a solid pitcher before the trade deadline? If it were me, if I'm the GM, yes, I would probably make that decision. Now, who do I go with as far as the trade's concerned? That's a whole other conversation that we'll have as we get closer to the trade deadline. But my God, like there is so much wealth in the farm system that you do have the power to really kind of set yourself apart from the rest of the league if you can get yourself 1-2 solid pitchers in that starting rotation, and then also a pitcher or two, maybe even in the bullpen as well. So I think that there's a lot of leverage to be had from the organization, and so I'm like I said, it's a good problem to have. But it just sucks for the guys that are you almost kind of like they're almost kind of getting dick teased in a way. Yeah, we're gonna call you up. Congrats on your major league debut, but you're gonna get 1 or 2 starts, and then we're gonna send you back down.
Yeah,
it just, I think these prospects understand, like they're in a situation. I mean, the Orioles have been great at developing talent now.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of guys, but I think especially with Norby's quote of like, look, I know I'm a good AAA player, but I want to be a good big leaguer. I think he understands that there is a lot blocking him right now. There's even a lot blocking Jackson right now, and Jackson's ahead of Norby. So it's like, I think the best thing for both sides is Norby's a heck of a player. He's proven that in AAA. I think that will translate to the MLB in some way, shape, or form. So you move on, you get a prospect, not a prospect, you get a prospect in Conor Norby who's acquiring him. All right, you can play him every day, and he's someone who's ready. And for the Orioles, you were able to address a need with a guy who's already in a position that has a surplus. So I think it's the best for both sides, but I'm excited to see what Norby can do in Baltimore. I think we should stick in the moment a little bit too, because it's exciting for him.
It's for
exciting.
sure. Yeah, 100%.
I said it today. There's nothing. It's a top 3 moment as a sports fan is having the opportunity to watch a player like Conor Norby, who you've been, just any top prospect that you've been waiting years to see make it to the majors. It's so exciting to see their first game. Like it feels awesome for everyone involved. Obviously the player mostly, but for the fans too. I mean, think about all the conversations over the past year and a half of, well, why don't they call up Conor Norby? Because he's been ready for like a year and a half. Yeah. So it's just awesome to finally see him get his shot.
Yeah, I agree. Before we get into the Jackson Holiday conversation, I also wanted to shout out D Porter.
All right.
$9.99. Appreciate you donating.
You,
says, what's up, fellas? Norby time. Hopes he kills it. We all hope that for Norby. And sticking with this conversation, sort of, is the Jackson Holiday conversation. And thank you, Kevin, for continuing.
I was not going to be caught lacking.
I appreciate you. Well done, sir. All right. So also, I believe Joe complimented me on my hair. I was having a good hair.
Yeah,
day.
I did. I saw that above.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Appreciate the comments. I already knew that, but thanks. All right. So yes. So why wasn't Jackson Holiday called up? And I think a lot of people are going to be asking that question. Rip also had his take. He knew people would be asking that. So let's listen to what Ryan has to say about why Jackson Holiday is still in the minors.
Okay, and another thing, the question is, why wasn't Jackson Holiday called up? Why don't you bring the kid back up? Well, look, I think what happened initially, Mike Elias was more of the impulse feeling. You want to see it happen, and you brought Jackson up maybe before he was fully ready, at least where the analytics and the forecasting was, right? So now that Jackson's down, there's no real reason to rush him back up. Yeah, he's a talented player. I'd love to see Jackson back in the big leagues, but if you want him to get more at-bats, and I think looking at it more and really dissecting it, getting close to 1,000 at-bats in the minor leagues, I think is really valuable, because then you can learn yourself. And then really after those 1,000 at-bats, you kind of have an idea of what you need to do. So for Jackson, people forget, he just skyrocketed through the system. Let him season a little bit. He's going to be just fine, and he's going to make an impact on the team. But in the meantime, depending on how long Conor Norby is going to be up, give a guy that's a talented player, that's a little bit older, Conor Norby, getting the chance to showcase what he can do, because this is also looking at, is Conor Norby going to have the chance to be with the Baltimore Orioles long term, or is this a chance for Conor Norby to showcase and really audition for other teams? I want to see Norby in Baltimore for the long term, but we know business is business. So it's nothing personal with Jackson. This could be the best thing for him, but Conor Norby is the one that deserves a shot right now.
All right, so 2 things with this. The first thing is that Ryan said something about how just mentioned about Elias being a little bit impulsive. Yeah, he said impulse, so I'm just going to use it. So impulsive with calling Jackson Holiday up. I disagree with that. I think that Mike Elias, and we we interviewed him, we talked to him, and you were there, Zach.
Yeah.
He said specifically that when you have a phenom like that, that's never seen failure, he kind of wants him to see how he handles himself through that adversity. So it's almost as if Elias called him up knowing that he was going to fall on his face, send him back down and have him deal with that and work through it. And he is. We're seeing him kind of come back in the minors, but bringing Norby up, I think, was just better because of the experience that he brings to the table. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's very, very accurate to I think what happened, because they wanted to see what Jackson Holiday would do against major league talent, and then you send him down. It didn't work out, and I don't think enough time had passed for them to feel like sending him back down was truly worth it.
Yeah,
because when they sent him back down, they were like, "Hey, we're going to give you 2 months down there to fail. You go down there." And when he got back down there was still a mental barrier. He was not playing well when he first got down there.
Yep.
And now I think he's like a 10-game hit streak. He's got his on-base percentage and average is flying up again. And he's looking like the Jackson Holiday we know. He's getting 3-hit games. He's getting on base 2 to 3 times a game, including walks. And he's finally getting back in that rhythm. And I don't think they wanted to be like, oh, okay, he's finally getting back into a rhythm, settling down. Let's jerk him back to the majors and then send him right back down once Mateo's back.
Yeah.
It just made too much sense for this to be Norby, because it's like, hey, here's a guy who we want to see what he can do in the majors. We haven't seen him yet. If he does something well, then okay, we have a better, we have another situation where we have a lot of good players. If he doesn't, it's not the end of the world. We're going to give him 7 days and then see what he can do. Send him back when we get Mateo back.
Right. And I think too, it's almost going back to the conversation we had a few minutes earlier of with Jackson, if he's up, he has to stay.
Yes.
Right? And I still think that what's the conversation we just had? When Mateo comes back for Norby, okay, you feel a little better sending him back down than Jackson.
Right.
The worst case for Jackson is he gets sent down. Best case is, again, he's in a platoon with Mateo, who's playing great. They DFA Urias or they shorten the bullpen, and they should not be shortening the bullpen right now in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So it made more sense, right? Jackson has a long-term place on this team. Conor Norby, unfortunately, unless there's a major path opened up, I don't see it. Doesn't take away from the player he is, but for Jackson, having him stay down and continue to work through a couple more things, like Ryan said, you don't have to rush him back up. I think the plan is working, and he is working to be the best player he can be. You don't have to, at the first sign of an injury, just rush him back up and say, okay, here we go. You can have it play its course out, take its time, and I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, and that's why I think that what I had said before, my initial take on this with Elias wanting to kind of see if Holiday was going to fail, and that plan seems to be working itself out. The second half of what Ryan had said about Norby being there long term, and you kind of touched on it there, Kevin. That was kind of the thing that Rip had also said, that I hope he stays in Baltimore long term. Look, I think we all hope that all these guys could stay in Baltimore long term, but the fact of the matter is that it's just not possible.
Right. Yeah.
So you're either going to go with Conor Norby or you continue to develop Jackson Holiday, your number one prospect. We know what's going to happen. The writing's on the wall here. You're calling Conor Norby up because out of necessity. You need to replace him with Mateo right now. So you're just doing that. And then also, like you had said, Zach, showcasing him to seeing if there's any sort of trade value there. I think that's the play. But yeah, so those are my takes on what Ryan had to say there with that. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments there. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if you're not already. There's about 150 of you guys in here this afternoon. So we appreciate you guys taking the time and just watching us and not Rip. Is it better without him?
Might be. People are asking.
We certainly start more on time.
Yeah,
we do.
That's true. I mean, we were late. We were late today.
Yeah, we were a little late.
Not super late, but a little late.
We were
late.
here. We were ready to go. We were just kind of dicking around.
Yeah, we were not Rip late where we're like, it's 45 minutes later and we're starting the countdown.
With that being said, look, I also wanted to bring this up, but we have a poll we're going to get to in just a minute. I had breakfast at the Rooster today, and at the Iron Rooster. So this is what I was going to bring up because it's one of the more underrated items on the menu. I don't even know if they advertise this item. Do you know that they have shrimp and grits?
Really?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, it is.
I love shrimp.
I did not know that they
grits, yeah.
They have shrimp and grits, and it is underrated. So good. So good. Anyways, if you guys haven't checked out the Iron Rooster, go check them out. Everybody knows about the Roost Tarts, right? Yeah, they're incredible. They're amazing. But go check out the shrimp and grits. Low key good. Real good. And it was a ton. I had it for lunch too.
Big portions of shrimp and grits are the best.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Of anything. I mean, the Roost Tarts are ridiculous.
Oh, the Roost Tarts are incredible.
So good.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So the poll, we're going to get into right after the poll, we're going to get into some more of Orioles and Blue Jays. We're going to preview, guys, that you got everything teed up for that, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So today's poll I put up before we went live, and we got 65 votes on this. People voting in on this one. And there's a follow-up to this poll too. But the initial question was, a zombie apocalypse breaks out. What's the first thing that you secure? And the options that I chose were food, weapons, shelter, and then the fourth one I just said, screw it, the best drugs money can buy. Because maybe you're just like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
I feel like you got to go weapons.
I agree.
Weapons, because you have to eventually like kill to eat.
Weapons over any other necessity?
Yeah, if I'm thinking long term, I'm gonna go weapons.
Well, I feel like with if you're in a situation with the zombies, you got to fight them off, right? If you have food or shelter, you can't fight them off.
Yeah, but then you're also fighting everybody else off that doesn't have food or shelter, right?
Yeah, you can just take it for yourself.
If you have all the weapons?
If you have a weapon and someone else has food, you win. You can take their food.
That, Kevin, you actually make a great point.
That's
there.
ruthless.
Kevin
is ruthless.
You're in a zombie apocalypse, man. You can't be playing friends.
That's not life advice. Don't use that advice in everyday life. But
no.
I almost want to say that Zach was. I kind of predicted that Zach was going to be like, "Fuck it, just give me the drugs."
You know what?
I feel like if there was one of us, it would be.
Everyone thought it would be me. I mean, if we're really screwed, you might as well go out with a bang. But if I'm trying to play the long game, it's got to be the weapons.
No, Zach would just go. Rocco would go. Just let's go to Fed.
Yeah, Rocco would go to Canton.
Rocco's going to Canton. Michael brings up a good point. Says the drugs because you can sell for the weapons.
Oh,
I was more or less thinking like the drugs.
I'm using the weapons to take them. I'm taking everything.
Yeah, right.
Kevin's going to be a bigger nuisance to people than the freaking zombies. Like it's going to be like we're defending ourselves from the zombies, and then Kevin just comes over here anytime he wants with these weapons and just starts demanding stuff.
I mean, what are you going to do? Give me the stuff.
I also I just lost it. Where Adit said something about this
Yeah,
poll.
Who survives the longest?
Yeah.
I think my strategy makes me survive.
I was gonna say probably a lot of people counting you out, Kevin, as being the first one to go. But I mean, after that, where is that comment?
It's up here. It is.
I will say,
Which one of you guys would survive the longest or the shortest in a zombie apocalypse?
Everyone on the show, Rocco, survives the shortest.
Oh, 1,000%.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
He dies
Rocco's
first.
Done.
Yeah.
Rocco's done. Part of me wants to say Rip is not going to do well either.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like he would just get distracted by something.
You're not wrong.
Which I'm in the same boat.
I was going to say, half of our team is.
I was going to say, I'm definitely probably in the bottom three. But yeah.
It's about the hair. The hair guy survived the longest.
The hair guy has survived?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Zach said he's in the bottom three. Ryan is number 4. Rocco's number 5. We have the best hair, so we're 2-1.
I was
gonna only go after people without hair.
Listen, I had you lasting longer than Rocco. After that comment, I'm not quite sure. That makes no sense.
The hair guys survive.
It could be.
All right. Next up, we have as I mentioned before. The result of this poll, by the way, was weapons at 53%.
There we go.
20% of the people say the screw it, the drugs, best money, best drug money.
I understand.
Look, hardly anybody cared about food. 9%.
Yeah, I just feel like if you care about food off the rip, like that's a very good strategy to have like a nice week and a half, and then because I wouldn't ration.
I would think that it's shelter and food, because if you have like a badass bunker with all of the food,
that's true.
It's going to take a long time for anybody with any legitimate weapons.
I wasn't really thinking bunker. That's more. When I was thinking shelter, I was like, okay, get a house. I was like, they can get into a house.
Yeah.
But like a bunker. Okay.
Yeah, like what are those Doomsday?
Yeah. Like the Doom. Yeah.
Actually, at my parents' house, one of their neighbors has a Doomsday bunker, like a very, very old, unused. Like it has to have a ton of repair, but
yeah. From
That's badass.
from old, like way back. And I
Damn.
went down there one time, and it literally, there was a portable toilet that was kicked over, bunch of spiders, and I think a chair.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I hope that.
Sounds creepy.
Yeah, hope that. I mean, that's where I'm going.
Sounds like the next location for your cat birthday party.
Or we'll do a special episode of the Ryan Ripken show from the Doomsday.
the Doomsday bunker.
Hell no. Not doing that. All right. So next up, as we had mentioned before we got into the poll, Blue Jays versus Orioles. That's what we're all here for, the preview. But before we get into any of that, we got to thank our sponsors over there at Adams Jeep of Maryland. Adams Jeep of Maryland. We're going to get on our ride. We're going to ride our Jeep. I'll ride the Jeep too. I'm a little wonky here, but Kevin is riding his
computer.
Good
job, Kevin.
It has to. It was overheating, so I figured I'll use a prop. So it has to reset. Ryan got a new computer. He left me out to dry. I'm the only
and
one.
You know what? He joined the dark side. He got a PC.
I know.
And he's loving it.
He does like it a lot.
Yeah.
He tells us every time. He's like, this computer is awesome.
It's your turn, bro.
I know. I might have to.
So yeah, Adams Jeep of Maryland. Go check them out over there in Aberdeen Horn. You can go there and ask for Chuck. Go tell Chuck that you hate Rocco. He's an asshole, and you'll get $500 gas card.
That's a good deal.
Next purchase. So,
Great deal.
Yeah, good stuff.
We make fun of Rocco for free. You can get $500 gas card for it.
There you go.
That's right.
It's beautiful.
Shout out to Adams Jeep.
Shout out to Adams Jeep.
All right, so Blue Jays, Orioles. Last time around, Orioles kind of whooped up on them. What are we thinking this time around, late gents?
I'm just excited to watch Ryan Mountcastle. I know that's like such like the low hanging fruit, but I just really want to see, because he's always dominates in Toronto. Like there's that weird asterisk where his like numbers inside Toronto.
Yeah.
That's where he'll have like 13 hits in a 3-game series. And it's just like, how's that mathematically possible? But he just does it.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is like, what kind of show are we going to see Ryan Mountcastle put on? And I'm actually going to look this up real quick. I want to see what his stats are against Kevin Gausman, because I feel like they've played each other a lot.
I'm sure they have. Kevin, what are your thoughts on this one?
I would expect the Orioles to come out at least a split, at least.
This is a 4-game series?
Yeah, 4-game. So I think I'll predict 3-1 Orioles, but I think Ryan Mountcastle is getting revenge for Zach Britton in that wild card game all those years ago. That's why.
What?
The ghost of Zach Britton.
Speaking of Zach, you got the
Zach Britton is alive, by the way.
Yeah.
Well,
the ghost of Zach Britton.
The ghost of 2016.
Actually,
Zach
you know what?
Britton.
I'll give it to you because he did change his name after he left
That's
Baltimore.
Right.
He went
now
from
CK instead of CH.
which is like
That's so weird.
As a CH guy, like what did we do to you?
Yeah.
Like why did you have to just leave?
It makes no sense.
Well, what's the proper way to spell it?
CH, because it's Zachary.
Yeah, it's Zachary. I never got that either.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you actually spell your name, which is also weird, ZACK.
Like just
ARY?
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do those kinds of Zacharys actually exist?
I'm sure they do, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
But
no, I don't.
Back to what we were talking about. Ryan Mountcastle is 6 for 14 with 4 RBIs and no home runs, but a double off of Kevin Gausman. So he's batting 429 off him.
He's batting 429 off of Gausman. Holy shit balls.
In 14 plate appearances or at bats. So
that's crazy.
That about summarizes what he does to Toronto right there. One pitcher.
And their best pitcher, by the way.
Yeah.
Arguably. Yeah, Gausman's not having, I mean, he's having a good year, but it's not a great year. He's 4-3. He's got a 4.14 ERA. But this is what the Blue Jays have been doing. And we had Jim Riley on last time the Jays were in town. And we also had his name just escaped me.
Tim Miser
from the reliever from the Blue Jays as well. And like the sentiment overall was these are players that are full of talent and they just haven't put it together this year.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. If you told me that, a team with Vlad Guerrero Jr. and, Kevin Gausman and his name just escaped me.
Well, we talked about Bo Bichette a lot.
Bo Bichette,
where
right?
He was struggling,
Right.
and then in that series, he just turned it all the way on.
But he was the only one, right? Like it seems as if like they can't all get on the
Right.
same page at the same time. If all of these players were firing on all cylinders at the same time, they're a dangerous team. But for whatever reason, it kind of reminds me of last year's Padres, where you had so much talent and they just couldn't put it together.
Good comparison. Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like for this year's Blue Jays.
I'm looking at his stats right now. Bo Bichette career versus the Orioles. He has 238 at bats. He's batting .336 with 80 hits, 10 home runs, 38 RBIs, 42 runs scored in 58 games.
Yeah, that's wild.
He just kills the Orioles no matter.
Huge. It's like the Gleyber Torres back.
Yeah.
Gave Gary Thorne fits every time he hit a homer. It's like there are those specific matchup players. The Jays have one in Bichette, and the Orioles have one in Mountcastle. So I don't know. Ryan, Zach, and I talked about this on the post game show. The Orioles aren't listing for tomorrow. No, they are for tomorrow, for Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah,
there's been conversation about Bradish and the worry about why aren't they listing? Why aren't they?
Yeah.
Does that worry? Zach and I were like, give it a couple days and then we can be worried. Are you worried at all that they're not listing Bradish right now?
I don't know if I would be worried yet.
Yeah, that's
but
what
we're
said.
certainly got pause.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, what's going on? Obviously, we know he's coming back from an injury. Means came back from an injury, and so you have like recency bias of just like, oh god, he's gone now too. Is the back to opening day roster? You know, so I think that there's definitely those thoughts that sneak back in, but I'm on pause right now with that.
Yeah, I'd give it till tomorrow.
Yeah,
and then right. I mean, that's I think what we said, Zach. Tomorrow.
Yeah, like if it gets day of and they have announced, because he would be on pace to pitch on, if I'm correct, would it be tomorrow or because he pitched Saturday? So
it would be Wednesday if I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
Right?
So
yeah.
I'm not. If we get to Wednesday, day he's supposed to go, and he still doesn't pitch, then I'll kind of be like, okay, like what's happening? As I said last night, I think what they're doing is he had a tough outing. He threw a lot of pitches, didn't look comfortable. They're going to let him rest these past few days. They're going to get it to tomorrow or something and look at him and go, okay, are you healthy enough to go on Wednesday, or do you want the extra day of rest and pitch Thursday? And I think that's the biggest game or biggest reason. And then do we see a Cade Povich come and pitch the other day? Because I know I've seen a lot of people in the comments, obviously, talking about it. Zach right here, give me Cade Povich. I think that's what people are really kind of like clamoring for, is that news of like, can we get Conor Norby and Cade Povich in the same series? That could be electric.
Yeah, I agree. I have an interesting stat. It's another day of the week stat. I will get to that in a moment. But before we do, Victoria.
Thank you, Victoria.
What happened there? Wasn't Victoria already YouTube?
Was she? Did she upgrade?
She must upgrade. Yeah,
maybe,
she's the Holy Shirts and Pants Club.
All right.
Victoria.
Shout out.
Appreciate you, Victoria.
We also got some donations. I'll get to them in a second. But if you guys are curious about what Victoria just signed up for, make sure you hit the join button next to subscribe. You can help support the channel in that way. Ryan just bought himself a brand new computer. Thanks to you guys. Help support the show. And the computers, obviously, for us here and the work. And there's a big ass soundboard back there that the Holy Shirts and Pants Club helped us out with too. So go check it out. And in return, you get exclusive content. There was a crazy NBA Jam tournament over there between Kevin and Rip got extra competitive on that. And all that content was over there at the Holy Shirts and Pants Club. You also get access to early interviews and stuff like that. So go check it out. Help support the channel in that way. And again, hit that join button next to subscribe to be a part of the Holy Shirts and Pants Club. I was going to address this real quick before I get into my crazy stat. Do you think Norby gets a hit tonight?
I have money on it. I mean, of course, but like, yeah, I think he's one of those players where it's like they took so long to get there. People, obviously, the Jackson Holidays, the #1 overall picks, like there's so much hype when they get there. Norby, I feel like, especially like Toronto fans, they're not going to be like, oh, it's Conor Norby. Like he's going to be under the radar, and he's one of those like good prospects, but not like top prospects that come into the league. And I'm thinking go like 3 for 4 their first game. And people are like, oh my God, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like that kind of like we always see once a year, like I've seen a few comments, guy hits a home run on his first at bat, like stuff like that. There's always those super cool stories.
Yeah.
And Conor Norby just gives me the vibe of the guy that's going to go out there and like 2 home runs his first game. And you're like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Like a Manny Machado type
like
of
it's just like he comes out and just goes off. And everyone's like, then of course it's going to be, this guy should have been on the roster all year. Michael Elias sucks at his job.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I'll say give him a hit, maybe 2. I think I was laughing because I think it'd be so funny if he went like 3 for 4 in his first game, and then the whole conversation is like, okay, Mike Elias, I dare you to send me back down now, like after everything, and then that's a very fun conversation we're gonna have about if they do decide to do that or not.
Yeah.
But I think again, I agree with Zach. It's just been so long. He's waited for this opportunity for so long, where I just feel like he's gonna get it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe he doesn't, but
here's the question to both of you that we can like figure this out obviously when it happens. Is he swinging or does he take the first pitch?
I think he takes it.
I think he takes it.
You know what? I'm going to say he's been down there for so long. I think he swings. I think he's coming out ambush. So I'll go on a limb and say I'm going on the limb and said he's hacking first time.
Could be.
Yeah, could be. Next question we had, and thanks for the donate, Andrew, and thank you, Karan.
Double clapping.
Appreciate you, Karan.
Under 2.5 homers for Mountie in this series. He hit 3 dingers in 4 games.
I mean, for a 4-game set, that's a little different than 3.
Yeah, it's because I mean, how can you not say yes right now the way he's hitting in the Rogers Center?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get into some more of our gambling for this series in just a moment, but before we get anywhere else, I wanted to bring this stat up to you fellas. Last series, I brought up days of the week and league leaders during certain days of the week. The Tampa Bay Rays had one of the highest batting averages on Fridays, the day that the O's played the Rays. And honestly, it was a low-scoring game that Friday, last Friday. So interesting to say the least. But guess who leads the league on Mondays in batting average?
Is it the Orioles?
It is not. It's a player. Give me a player that leads the league on Mondays in batting average.
I'm going to say Jordan Westburg.
With a 458 average.
Wow.
On Mondays.
It just seems like they love Mondays. I'm guessing it's going to be like a random player.
It's not random.
Oh, is it not?
No. It has to do with this series.
Is it Gunnar?
Because it is Monday, and they're playing the Blue Jays. It is a Blue Jays player.
It's Blue Jays.
Vlad Guerrero.
Nope.
Springer.
No, it's definitely.
It's Bo Bichette.
I had a feeling it was going to be
458. His OPS is 1.313.
Of course it is.
On base percentage is 480. I mean, slugging 833. The guy's a menace on Mondays.
He's gonna go like 5 for 5 tonight. He's playing the Orioles and it's on a Monday. So like that just screams 4 for 5 from Bo Bichette.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. He stole 2 bases on Monday. These stats are so crazy to me. Like I have to keep going back.
Funny. I wish they did this for football. Like I'm sure they do of like how guys play on Sunday versus Thursday versus Monday. Like honestly though, too, nobody's even close to Bo Bichette on a Monday. Who's number 2?
Brian Reynolds, and he's batting 429, which is fine. It's great, but it's not 458.
Yeah, man.
This is like you can just like grass or turf. Like you can literally get so much. Shout out the MLB, like you said, Kevin. There are not many leagues.
It's so ridiculous.
Jeez.
It's so ridiculous. But there are Orioles players that are in the top 15 on Mondays. Adley Rutschman is batting 385 on Mondays. Gunner's batting 280 on Mondays with a OPS of 1.099. Adley is 1.164. So all good things. I mean, this could end up being a very high scoring game because it's Monday and these guys are just tearing the cover off the ball. No case of the Mondays for Bo Bichette.
I think that's where, you have like, we've talked about the evolution of the Gunner walk bat throw. Bo Bichette's probably like, oh my God, another Monday, just gets in that box pissed off. And it's just like going 5 for 5 on Mondays.
Yeah.
Zach is having a shocked face.
Oh,
right
well,
now.
I'm just playing around on MLB.com right now. The Yankees have a stupid on base plus slugging in the first inning. That's just
In the first inning.
in the first inning. I've seen who's good and who's bad for Nerfy, no run first inning bet possibilities. And Yankees have a 955 OPS in the first. The next highest person is 902, which is the Diamondbacks.
Nerfy.
I would probably take the over on tonight's game, whatever the score is going to be.
A lot of guys who hit really well against the opponent.
Yeah. So with that being said, next segment here is brought to you by our friends over at Hollywood Casino. Check them out over there in West Virginia.
Blue Ridge
Mama,
Mountains, Shannon,
take me home.
Country Roads. There we go.
All right. So
beautiful.
shout out to our friends over at Hollywood Casino. If you guys didn't catch it, we did a live show there. Has it been a month already? I think it has been.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's getting close to a month if it's not already.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
it's been a month. Anyways, we had a great time out there. Shame that the we were there the only day of the week that the horse tracks were closed on a Tuesday. But we're going back and we're gonna do some. We're gonna bet on some horses. We're gonna do the thing. Hollywood Casino at Charlestown races. They're offering complimentary stuff, guys.
Ooh, I like complimentary.
Yeah.
Who does not like complimentary?
Everybody likes
100%.
complimentary. So they're offering a complimentary beverages if you choose or if you use your Penn Play card. This offer is only available in West Virginia. And so yeah, guys, if you also are struggling with gambling as well, make sure you're giving a call over to 1-800-GAMBLER. And so thank you. Shout out to Hollywood Casino and shout out to Don C.
Shout out Don C. My God.
We got to stand up for this.
Kevin, stand up.
Come on, Kevin.
Put the
Stand up,
timestamp
Kevin.
on.
Come on, stand up.
Kevin,
Stand up.
Stand up, Kevin.
Stand up, Kevin.
Get in his
Come on.
face, Kevin. Get in his face.
There we
Yeah.
go. There we go. Thank you.
Love it,
Shout out
Kevin.
Don C for gifting 5 Ryan Ripken memberships. Shout out. That was incredible. So yeah, anyways, tonight's game, I put a bet in. And I go all out on these crazy parlays. And so what I chose to do was obviously an Orioles win. Here we go. I'm looking it up right now. Orioles over 1.5. They win by 1.5 or more. Total runs is 7.5. Went with that one. Grayson Rodriguez throws 7 strikeouts tonight, boys.
Oh.
And then Gunnar Henderson actually hits a home run, and it's not Mountie.
Oh, you're going Gunner.
I am.
Good bet.
Ooh.
Good bet.
I'm
Actually,
liking that.
no, not a home run. So I'm sorry, a base hit. Gunnar gets a base hit.
Well,
Okay.
that one feels even more like it's there.
Yeah. That's a $3 bet that's like $40.
Oh,
So
Big.
not bad.
yeah, not bad at all.
And it's achievable. Like
Yeah.
is it reasonable to think that Grayson throws 7 punches? Yes.
No, when Grayson's on, he'll get 10 Ks with the best of them.
That's what he did last time. Last time he had like 8 strikeouts. So I'm like, all right, I'm going with it. Grayson's on one.
I would love if Grayson's on one. I'd love when Grayson's on. He's one of those. I would say Grayson went on is the most fun pitcher to watch on the Orioles because he'll go out and strike out just 11, 12 guys with just heat.
Also, like, I wish Rip was here because I want to pick his brain on this. Why is Gunnar in the leadoff spot right now?
I know. Yeah, we've talked about that on the post game show too. Where if you're hitting homers in the leadoff spot, why don't you do it with 2 guys on in the cleanup or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the big problem right now. The O's have a ton of hits and not a whole lot of runs to show for it, leaving a lot of guys on base.
Yep.
If you put the best player, the best hitter right now in a cleanup spot or even at number 3,
Yeah.
why are we not doing that? Kind of reminds me, and I know you all are too young for this. Neither one of you were born, but I was around. The same thing with Brady Anderson back in the late 90s. He was in the leadoff spot, would hit dingers. I think he led the team that year. I think it was 97. Led the team that year in home runs, but he was in the leadoff spot too. I just don't understand why Gunner's still there when he could produce more runs if you put him somewhere else in the lineup.
I think that long-term Gunner's going to be the 3-hole hitter. I think they eventually want Jackson to take over as 1 but obviously the way his career started in the major leagues, they couldn't move him up there. I think by, I would say probably end of season, if not next year. But yeah, I agree. It is tough when you have Gunnar hitting first and he's just hitting solo shots. But at the same time, I get the understanding of they want him to get as many at bats as possible and, you know, always be closest to getting the next at bat. So I get it in that sense, but I agree. I would prefer probably one or two guys ahead of him in the lineup just to maybe try to turn some of these solo shots into 2-3 run shots.
Yeah. And Marcus brings up a good, interesting comment, I'll say, because you get this a lot, right? You only hit leadoff once. And this kind of what Marcus is saying here, and I'm just putting words in your mouth, Marcus, so I apologize if this actually isn't what you're saying. But what I'm gathering here is that, well, the concept is, well, Gunnar only is going to lead off once in the game, and then you're going to have this rotation of players because, you know, what have you. So my response to that would be yes, but the players that are coming ahead of Gunnar in a specific inning might not get on base because they're not the best hitters in the lineup. So if you got guys like Adley and Westberg and Colton Cowser that are ahead of you, then you have a higher chance of getting guys in if your best hitter is coming in behind them. So I don't know. I obviously I don't get paid that kind of money to make those kind of decisions, but it does have me curious. That's for sure.
But yeah, I think too, and I see Zach said this here. I've been pining for Westberg in the leadoff spot. I mean, for now at least, I think. Look, if you put Gunnar in the 3-hole or the 4-hole, you have Westberg, Adley, and then some combination of Mountcastle, Gunnar. And then can you imagine a couple years down the line, Jackson, Adley, some combination of Mountie and Gunnar, and then Westberg 5?
Yep.
Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. I get the and plus Gunnar, I think, is pretty comfortable in the leadoff spot. So, I mean, not that he can't be comfortable anywhere else in the lineup, but like, I agree with you where it's like, okay, would you rather have Gunnar batting behind the 1, 2, 3 guys or the 7, 8, 9 guys?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm taking 1, 2, 3 10 times out of 10.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Any more comment on that, Zach?
No, I just it's one of those things where I know the whole argument that Gunnar has the best on base percentage, but you know, we brought up Westberg right there. I mean, yes, Gunnar has a 368 on base percentage. Westberg has a 350. So it's not that big of a difference where I feel like, you know, I'm okay with Jordan Westberg taking over as the leadoff guy. I think that would be beneficial. But obviously, it doesn't hurt having Westberg getting more RBI opportunity because he seemed to be the best one at getting those guys in.
Yeah.
Even if that solo shot was a 2-run shot, we're talking about a different game yesterday.
Right. I mean,
It's just, I think if the Orioles are going to rely on the long ball the way they have this season, you want to have your best home run hitters getting those opportunities in spots where it's more likely that you're going to have guys on. Because if you're hitting 2 solo shots in a game or 1 solo shot in the game, that's a huge difference instead of hitting 1 3-run shot or 1 2-run shot. And literally we saw, and you know, the game yesterday was weird. There were a bunch of weird things happening, but that was one of the differences. Is look, Gunnar is an incredible hitter who's comfortable in that leadoff spot, but I think you want to give him the opportunity to drive guys in, especially if they're going to be so home run dependent. At least they are right now.
Yeah, and Rick actually backed us up. So my memory actually isn't as bad as I thought it was. Brady Anderson did have 50 home runs that year as a leadoff batter, which is wild.
Wow. Hey, I mean, Gunner's on track for what?
What pace is he on right now?
I think it's still 55.
Okay.
As of yesterday, it was 55. And then he hit a home run. So, yeah.
He's still leading the league right now?
No, Judge.
Judge is lit. Was he got 20?
Yeah. Judge is up to 20. So, but Gunnar did retake the lead in WAR. So, what really matters, Judge?
Look right at the camera when you said that, man.
I knew what I was doing.
So, those games getting ready to start. I think, are we done with baseball right now?
Yeah, I think
we are done with baseball. All right, so let's move it on, guys. Patrick Queen is trying way too hard to be the villain in Pittsburgh, and it's almost to the point to where, all right, now you're annoying me, and it's kind of working to a certain extent.
I mean, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. Kevin put up a post with Patrick Queen talking about how the environment he feels is better in Pittsburgh than it was in Baltimore. You guys got that?
Yeah, I'm pulling that up right now.
Perfect. So I thought that it was some interesting comments, and it felt forced to me. I thought that here you go. So Kevin put this out, and our friend of the show, Sean Merriman, also commented on this as well.
Friend of the show, me. I'm like, well, yes.
Well, you are a friend of the show, yes, but no, friend of the show, Sean Merriman, friend of Locked On Ravens as well.
That's right.
So anyways, Patrick Queen says it was quoted as saying, it's a better atmosphere here for me. Everybody's cool. The people are cool. The players are cool. The food spots are better. I'm more of a true food guy rather than a seafood guy. It's just a better atmosphere for me here, which, look, I call bullshit. One of the big reasons why there was a lot of, friction with Ravens fans and Patrick Queen was because he wasn't performing like they thought he was going to. He was a first round pick, wasn't playing like a first rounder until Roquan came in and basically reformed the defense single-handedly. I mean, he elevated everybody, and we had Nick Moore, long snapper of the Ravens, kind of speak on that as well. He played with Roquan at Georgia, and so he knows Roquan very well and how he can elevate a team. So I'm not saying that Patrick Queen doesn't deserve the money he got. Go get yours, fine. But to sit here and be like, oh, well, the atmosphere is better here in Pittsburgh. Well, you haven't played yet. You haven't played a down. You haven't played a snap. So let's revisit that when we're in the middle of the season and maybe things aren't working out for you. But let me get your guys' initial reactions on some of the comments here from Patrick Queen.
It just feels like at least once a week, Patrick Queen, I get it's his first OTAs and stuff in Pittsburgh. He's going to be asked about the Ravens a lot. But it just feels like every week he's trying to say something else, and it's like some little jab at the Ravens or something. If Patrick Queen thinks OTA atmosphere in Pittsburgh is better than the OTA atmosphere in Baltimore, okay. Like I don't like what, like you said, what atmosphere is he going off of? Like if he wanted to say that mid-season and he's like, well, in big games I really feel a difference here atmosphere wise, then that would be like, oh, okay.
But he's talking about the organization, right?
Yeah,
I would imagine. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
He's been there for how long? Like I just feel like he's trying to give a lot of like PR talk while also trying to be a villain.
That's what it is.
So he's like, oh no, I love it here. Everyone's super cool. But then he's also trying to be like, okay, let me like try to make a funny shot at Baltimore. So he's like, well, the food's better here. And then everyone's like, that's a weird thing to say at a press conference.
Yeah, do you have the Matt Judon response to that?
Yeah.
So Matt Judon.
I thought Tony Jefferson
linebacker. Go ahead.
We'll talk about We'll talk about Judon.
Matt Judon, linebacker for the Patriots, former linebacker for the Ravens. Actually called Patrick Queen out on his bullshit as well. We'll get into that in a second. But Kevin, what's your initial thoughts on those comments?
I mean, when I saw it, nobody had picked up on it yet when I had seen it, and I was surprised because that's like a huge thing to say.
Yeah.
And so shout out to Mark Caboli from The Athletic for getting the quotes here. In the article, there were actually more quotes in the article that I didn't put out because I wanted to highlight that one. But when I was putting this tweet out and like crafting it, I'm just like, I feel like it wasn't a fake quote. It was 100% real, but I'm like, this feels like a fake quote.
Just trying too hard, bro.
Just trying too hard. The food part of it to me is so funny because it's just like, what did the food in Baltimore ever do? Like, what does that have to do with like, I get it's a city thing, but we know
what food is better in Pittsburgh, by the way.
Well, I know.
I don't know. This is a real question because I don't know. I don't know the food scene in Pittsburgh.
I don't either. I don't know.
I will say
cheesesteaks. Not Pittsburgh even. I guess.
Someone on Twitter pointed out that when they went to Pittsburgh for the Orioles at Pirates games, a lot of places down there, one of their big things was Maryland style crab cakes. So they were like, that alone is not doing well for you, Patrick, if they're serving Maryland stuff there, trying to make it. But I was gonna say real quick, the kind of interaction between first guy to comment was Tony Jefferson.
Tony Jefferson's response to me was so funny.
He said, bruh, like, damn.
He's saying, like, we get it, man. You've been saying this for like months now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Patrick Queen responded with, shut up.
which I also thought was hilarious.
So then, where is Matt Judon? Let me try to find. Oh, there's Kevin.
He might have commented under.
Let me see.
He might have commented responding to Queen.
Yeah, that's what.
That's what. Yeah, that's
Well,
what I thought.
while you're finding that, 2 great points. One from Joe. It's the same point, but Queen fishes a lot of time. Says he doesn't like seafood. Casey saying for someone who doesn't care for seafood, he sure fishes a lot. All the comments under my post.
He's a bass fisher,
Well,
though.
yes.
It's like he's catch and release. Like it's a sport thing, not really like I'm gonna go eat.
But I think we
Shit.
still saw him. Like, am I remembering this right? Did he have beef with Jimmy's Seafood at some point? Am I remembering that right? I might not be. I might not be.
Why does that?
I've been
now that you said that, that sounds so familiar.
I have been in Patrick Queen's comments multiple times on fishing with him. Which, by the way, you want to go fishing, Patrick Queen, anytime. I still don't really care for you as a Steelers player, but as a person, let's make it happen. But what were the comments on? Did you get Matt Judon?
Did you find it?
So Matt Judon then called out Patrick Queen because all Patrick Queen does is fish in the offseason. That is literally all he does. Yeah. And he said, "You stay fishing how you don't like seafood." And Patrick Queen said, "Where did I say I don't like seafood?" Once again, I think this is just the trying too hard. Like now he's like he said, I think he even kind of in his head was like,
Marlon Humphrey does this a lot with food takes.
Yeah, like that's
he's known for the crazy.
Well, Marlon Humphrey just puts out.
That's a whole different conversation.
But the same kind of like try hard bullshit is what's going on here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna add more context to the quote because I took this like there just weren't enough characters for it, and I'm just like this really isn't a relevant part of the quote, and then apparently now it is. Where when Queen says, "Well, where did I say I don't like seafood?" He doesn't specifically say, "Okay, I don't like seafood," but the spot where he says he's more of a quote unquote true food guy rather than a seafood guy. First of all, what does true food mean?
Yes, thank you. Seafood is also real food, bro.
A pierogi? Like, is that
is that the first thing that came to your mind? A pierogi?
Yeah, because that's what they were selling at the they were selling the massive pierogies at the Pirates game. I saw a bunch. I just saw a bunch of people posting that, and they're like, "This is what Patrick Queen is simping over right now." It's like
I'm just like, what is true food versus seafood? Where was there ever a line drawn between what true food is and then seafood is just not true food?
Yeah, CB. And if anybody can give me a legitimate response to the food scene over there in Pittsburgh, please tell me.
Yeah, I just don't know.
But CB, what does Pittsburgh have? That's what I'm trying to figure out myself.
Yeah, and the second part of this is the part that I just said this isn't relevant to the quote. I'm not going to put it in here. Is he goes, "I'm more of a true food guy rather than a seafood guy. I like meat and stuff like that." So he's like, "Okay, seafood, no. Meat, yes." And I'm just like,
all he does is fish. All he does is fish.
Like you're talking about Ben Cleveland who eats what, squirrels or whatever?
Yeah,
he likes meat.
That's real.
That's like in real food.
Yeah,
true food.
True food. Ben Cleveland going out to ration his squirrel for the winter is true food.
I'll read out.
He's gonna eat like a dozen squirrels in one sitting.
I have never and will never. You
never eaten a squirrel?
I'm actually very low key afraid of squirrels.
What?
Doesn't surprise me. A squirrel would kick your ass.
Squirrels and tornadoes are my 2 biggest fears.
Well, tornadoes I understand, but squirrels?
Yeah, actually, when I went to school in Boston, quick story time.
Here we go.
Quick story time. I went. They have I can't remember the name of the park, but there's this big park in the center of Boston, and there was a guy who literally had trained squirrels in the park, and he was like getting them to climb up his arm and eat like acorns off of his head, and it was like 15 squirrels. And the people I was with like, let's go watch. And I'm just like mortified. I'm just like,
that's what turned you off about squirrels?
No, I think when I was younger, it was the potential rabies thing, which I have since, by the way, I have a wild story about rabies. I did not get rabies.
That's going to have to be another conversation for another time. What the fuck?
Where it involves a bat and me getting shots.
Oh my!
Is this like The Office type?
This legit. So one night
No. Stop.
This
Stop.
guy has to be.
We
when
gotta
everyone's
wait
here.
for
We
this
have
for
to
when Rip comes back.
We need everyone here for this.
Okay.
Rip and
Fair
Rocco
enough.
need to be here for this story. You
Okay.
cannot tell it
Fine,
right now.
fine.
Kevin
Agreed.
Raby's story.
Hit that like button and subscribe for that story because
that will
what
be
the fuck?
that will be an all-timer.
Holy shit.
Well, what I wanted to say about the Queen thing is I mentioned there were more quotes. In the original quote, he said, at the end of the day, money makes you happy, but you also have to win to be happy. I'd rather win and be happy than be miserable with a lot of money. And that kind of goes back to the other conversation, well, literally about a week ago now of, well, wasn't he winning with the Ravens? And then there's the conversation, like they probably weren't paying him. But about Pittsburgh, he said, it's everything that you want. You have a great head coach, a defense that can ball and put you in a situation to succeed.
True.
I'm at a point where I want to win. I know Pittsburgh hasn't won anything in a while, but they were in the playoffs, so they have a chance. To me, the team got better at every position. It's just now at the point where we have to go do it. So
they have no run game though either.
Yeah, I mean, Najee Harris has to essentially go, okay, you decline my 5th-year option, watch this, and have like a breakout season.
I'm a big Jalen Warren guy.
Yeah, good luck.
I like Jalen Warren.
I like him more than Najee.
Yeah, but I mean, like neither
was,
one of them are like
no.
In the AFC North, neither one of them are moving any sort of needle.
No,
for me.
I think they're together are a good combo, but it's nothing like I'm going to stay awake at night. Like, how are we going to stop Najee Harris?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with Pittsburgh. I think they actually did have a good offseason this year. Right?
I think they had a very good offseason.
We can be real about
Not going to argue that.
I think their wide receiver room is worse than Baltimore's.
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens is awesome. I love George Pickens. They have no one else.
The idea of George Pickens is awesome.
No, I mean, I think when
I was going to say that. So like also George Pickens
disappears.
It is. What is it with Pittsburgh wide receivers that just love the drama? All wide receivers love drama.
There is the drama,
but they're like way over the top.
Yeah,
right. I mean, all of them.
Well, Deontay Johnson literally left because they were like, "You're causing too much drama in this locker room."
Well, I mean, this goes all the way back to AB.
Yeah,
I mean, AB I think was probably like the starting point of that, and then it just kept going this way. Even Claypool now.
Martavis Bryant. You had.
Oh man, that's a good point.
Martavis Bryant was suspended like 7 times with them. Fun fact: Martavis Bryant just got cut by the Cowboys a few weeks ago, which is the moment that a lot of people found out Martavis Bryant was on the practice squad of the Cowboys.
Also, what am I drawing a blank? Who's the TikTok wide receiver?
Juju.
Thank you, Juju. Yeah, Juju.
That is a crazy stretch of guys.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They all are fucking like crazy. Well, they're wild.
My one thing about George Pickens.
And George Pickens is right there with them.
I would even argue George Pickens is the craziest.
If
George Pickens,
I would have released him as a coach.
I would
have been like, I cannot have this type of environment anymore. I'm done with these types of players in my wide receiver room. I'm done.
Well, that's why they picked Deontay.
I thought Deontay had a lot. I thought Deontay was worse than Pickens last year.
Yeah,
but Pickens just picked up where he left off.
Well, here's Pittsburgh's wide receiver room right now. So throw Pickens away. No George Pickens. Here are their wide receivers: Calvin Austin, Marquez Callaway, Des Fitzpatrick, Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, Denzel Mims, Quez Watkins, Roman Wilson.
So they got like that literally.
That's what the Ravens would do. They would sign all these vets or sign a vet or two.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're signing 6 vets.
Hoping one of them works
their
out.
wide receiver 2 right now, I think, might be Roman Wilson, who they drafted in the 3rd round this year.
Yeah.
I mean, is it Van Jefferson?
Scotty
Miller?
I was gonna say don't sleep on Scotty Miller.
I mean,
I
think Scotty Miller's fine, but I think he's fine as a 4th or 5th wideout.
He was fine with Tom Brady.
I was gonna say when he was Tom
That's
Brady's.
why there's been so much smoke about them getting a wide receiver, because outside of George Pickens, they have no one else. So I think Pittsburgh's in a fine
and
position.
George Pickens is the biggest diva in the league right now.
Shout out Scotty Miller for
you gotta get a jersey now, man.
Making a career out of just being Tom Brady's token tiny white guy wide receiver in Tampa. He always needs one.
He was that Wes Welker.
Yeah, like
guy.
The Julian Edelman. Like they were just like, how are we gonna? He was like, I don't know why, but Scotty Miller, I want that guy.
It's like Bruce Arians was like, oh, well,
yeah.
White wide receiver, Tom Brady.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
He's like, I know we have Mike Evans, like I know, but we do like Scotty Miller is going to randomly be the guy that make a massive play that saves our season.
And then he always had the Denny Woodheads, the James White.
Yeah.
Gio Bernard was there when he was there, I think.
That's why I've changed my stance over the year. Tom Brady, I think he just was the system.
Oh, for sure.
Like he just
for sure.
copy and pasted everywhere he went of like what there was a tight at every position. He just made it work.
Shout out Joe Radke for donating and saying that Kevin.
Yeah, no, that is true.
I saw a lot of comments about the squirrel story here. Yeah, I guess Casey, you'll have to find out if I actually
You'll have to come back and watch the show.
King of Go gets more rabies content enjoyment. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for the rabies story. And yes, Kevin's story time is always a time. I think that's what my slogan is. So story time is always a time with me.
Yeah, that's an understatement right there.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, I know that we've been stuck on this Steelers topic for a while, and we kind of talked about food for a little bit, but let's just get into it. Fact or crap? Pittsburgh versus Baltimore food, and that's why I was hoping somebody would actually respond to this, but they haven't.
I'm gonna look up Pittsburgh.
We'll have to
I already did, and
we'll have to revisit this.
Like literally, pierogies are number one.
Are they really?
Yeah, like that's what I'm seeing.
I'm seeing
come to Pittsburgh for the pierogies.
Yeah, premium tea.
I'm sorry, crab cakes are better than pierogies. I don't care how good the pierogi is. Crab cakes are just better.
I mean, does Pittsburgh have a spice? Do they have an Old Bay?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like, look, Kansas City has barbecue, right? Like
Buffalo has wings.
There are there are cities that are just known for a food.
Yeah,
that city treats as a food group.
Okay, I'm done. No, number 3 is a Pittsburgh salad, and apparently all it is just a normal salad, but instead of croutons, they put French fries.
Oh my god,
that's not even a substitute. That is not a 1-for-1 substitute for croutons.
It's just a normal salad, and it's got French fries on it. It's a normal chicken salad. It's got French fries on it.
I don't understand.
Croutons are too hard, by the way.
I agree.
They are. Way too hard.
I love
it. It's like croutons remind me of Captain Crunch in a way that when you eat them,
I can't eat.
They tear the roof of your mouth, and then they're no longer enjoyable after that.
I've never had Captain Crunch, so I'll have to live through.
What? You'd never had?
I can't. I'm allergic.
There's peanuts in Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Peanut butter.
I didn't.
Peanut butter cereal.
Is it?
Is it? I thought it was cinnamon cereal.
No, it's not cinnamon, but like it also doesn't really taste like peanut butter.
Oh, wait, Captain Crunch. Oh yeah,
no. Like I've never had Chick-fil-A before, Five Guys.
Because there's like crunch berries, right? Like the Captain Crunch berries, which never made any sense to me because berries and peanut butter. I mean, obviously got jelly, but I don't know. It's a weird cereal.
Yeah,
the more I'm going through this, the more I less and less understand where Patrick Queen's coming from.
I mean, I'm looking up Pittsburgh food and it's sending me to like historic Pittsburgh restaurants, and I'm just like, that doesn't count.
Dude, they love these Pittsburgh salads. What? This is on every list.
I see. I'm seeing Pittsburgh salad too. Yeah. It's pierogies, Sarah's candies. This is another store. Heinz ketchup.
Oh, well,
but
that's not that's
associated with the stadium.
Yeah,
I mean, I get that.
Not anymore. It's whatever the fuck stadium.
Whoa, I want this on record. I love croutons. This is a two problem. This is a these two problem.
I'm not a hater. I think
Casey, that's a lie.
No.
The hair is too good on this side of the room for you not to subscribe.
Yeah, sorry, Zach. I like the taste of croutons. I just think I would like it if they were just not as hard and didn't break my teeth when I ate them. That's all.
Said.
I love this one from Joe. When one of your top 3 foods is a salad, you sit this one out.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. What kind of bullshit is that?
Pennsylvania rye whiskey.
Okay, well, there's whiskey everywhere.
Another restaurant.
Yeah. If you guys are watching this at a later date, because we're going to clip the shit out of this.
Yeah.
I want Pat McAfee to come on here and be like, oh no, we have the food. Because if he doesn't, then
if there are foods, then like I'm open
that's
to
the end all be all.
Yeah.
That's the end all be all. There's no way he's going to come in here and be like, oh no, we got this. This is better than Jimmy Sue food.
So essentially what we've discovered is it's crab cakes versus pierogies.
And there's no competition.
Yeah.
That's not even a conversation.
Right.
Agreed. Not even a conversation at all. Zach?
This isn't even close. They just put French fries on a salad and said that they're real good food. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
There is a very intense article here of why everything is good and the vibe of Pittsburgh food. Cookie croissant actually is on this list.
Yeah, that
doesn't sound bad.
I texted a friend in Pittsburgh and she said pierogies number 1. Like, are we really giving that?
Pierogies.
Look, pierogies are good, but I agree. They're not that good.
I like pierogies, but
Like, okay, if you moved away from Pittsburgh and you're in another city in another state, are you just like, man, I could really go for a Pittsburgh pierogi right now? I've never heard anybody say that.
You hear it all the time though with crab cakes, right?
Correct.
That's exactly.
Even if you're not from Maryland.
Yeah, they do it in California.
Yeah.
I think like California, they'll have like Maryland style crab cakes.
Yeah, you know how like during the games where
That's-
like the B-roll of like CBS will be at Jimmy's and they'll show you the crab cakes at Jimmy's.
Yeah.
They never do that in Pittsburgh for pierogies or salads with French fries on them. Just saying.
When you go, Zach, that Zach's point won the conversation. When you go to a place or a restaurant or even a grocery store, it's Maryland style crab cakes.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Pittsburgh style pierogies anywhere?
No.
You see New England clam chowder, Buffalo Wild Wings, Kansas City
Kevin.
barbecue. You're not attaching a
Kevin,
name to
spitting
pierogies,
facts.
right?
Spitting
You're
facts right now.
attaching Maryland to crab cakes. You're not attaching Pittsburgh to pierogies.
Thank you, Kevin.
So there we
the
go.
argument's over, bro.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Shout out to you. Zach was the one who made the point. Shout out Zach for the point.
Yeah.
That's Zach. It was the
And no, shout out you, Kevin.
lob, the jam.
Yeah, you
that's
know.
what that's
No,
what.
and shout out me too.
Shout out, brother.
Shout out Zach.
Shout out Ryan.
us. Way to
Shout
go
out
us.
Ryan.
Go us. Look, yeah,
Go us.
I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back.
Yeah, that was big of us.
Yeah,
That was
great
big.
job, guys. Great job. And you know what?
Well
Hey,
executed.
who needs Ryan Ripken right now?
No, facts.
Just because his name's on the show doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, we're slowly.
Are we going to talk?
infiltrating.
Do we need to talk? We've gone through all of our topics. It's been a light work day
Yeah.
for
There's
sports.
one.
There is one more that we want to get through, and that is
Yeah.
the English Premier League. If you guys, who wants to take the lead on that one? Okay, Zach, you got this one?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold up. Let me pull it up.
All right.
I'll
While Zach's pulling that up, Tony Jefferson is visiting with the Chargers.
Yeah.
LA Chargers.
He's what?
He's visiting with the Chargers.
Visiting Tony
He's
Jefferson?
visiting Tony Jefferson.
Can look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Can the guy still ball?
No,
How old is
he took last year off.
I think he has something left.
Okay.
I mean, not as I think in a specific role,
like a
you know,
starting, he's not going to start.
like
there.
is like a dime linebacker.
Okay.
I could see him playing up at the line.
Well, wait, yeah.
They also need safety depth.
Well, no, so that was the thing. Remember, what was it? What it was going into last year before he signed on to be a scout with the Ravens. It was the rumors that he had put on all this weight and he was turning from a linebacker or a safety to a
Yes,
linebacker.
I remember that. I think him playing up towards the line in the dime linebacker safety hybrid linebacker spot. I think that's where his role is now. So I could see it because the Chargers. I actually thought he might have been an option for the. I wouldn't have been shocked if Baltimore were to bring him back because they need safety depth in the worst way right now. But the Chargers also need it. So
Tony Jefferson is he's only 32.
yeah,
Why did I think
he's
he was
he's not that old.
Yeah, I thought he
Well,
was
people
older.
forget that because he was an undrafted free agent and he was younger even then.
Yeah.
He signed with the Ravens only 4 years after he was drafted. And he was like 25 at that
Yeah,
time.
that was his first big contract.
Yeah.
It was like Marcus Williams.
It's just like Tony Jefferson with the Cardinals feels like it was forever ago.
It does.
That was
'Cause
so
he's
long.
had stops with New York after Baltimore. He went to
San Francisco for a year.
yeah,
then
and then
with the Giants.
back with Baltimore too for that stretch in 2022.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been places, but I think he can still play.
Well, okay. The more you know.
There we go.
English Premier League, Zach.
Yes. So international soccer returns this summer. Don't miss your chance to see the biggest league in the world, Premier League. That is actually like super sick. Coming to Annapolis as they compete for their first trophy of the season, the Stateside Cup. Be there when the Premier League clubs Crystal Palace and Wolves take the pitch July 31st at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. With the series trophy on the line, competition will be fierce. Tickets on sale now as low as $35. Only $35. Buy your tickets today at statesidecup.com. $35 to see a Premier League match is actually like
That's incredible.
Actually,
over,
so
like,
I was
over here. Like that is actually awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. I actually-
Should we go around and say our favorite Premier?
no, because I don't do soccer.
Oh well.
I mean,
Do you
it's
have
not
one?
that I wouldn't go to a game.
Well, yeah, I think the atmosphere itself is even
Yes.
even if you're
I
not a
want to
fan,
go
like the
to a
atmosphere
game.
is crazy.
Yeah.
I want to go to one. I've
I
never
want to
been.
go to
wanna
one really badly.
Do you have a team?
No, but like
I'm
Well,
all
guess-
right.
guess-
I'm gonna
guess what?
cause
Guess what?
what?
With the English Premier League, there might be opportunities for the Ryan Ripken show to show up there.
ooh,
We get a little.
yeah, well,
Mm,
maybe it happens.
Right?
Maybe.
We might, maybe not. Maybe we show up. Maybe we show up on the field.
I will.
Maybe we interview some players. Maybe that
Ooh.
happens.
I'll cause controversy and say mine, and then I'll give the reason for mine. I'm an Arsenal fan, and the reason is because I played with them in FIFA 06.
So basically, Kevin's just as much of a soccer guy as Brad is.
Yeah, like
that back when Henri was on that team, and they had some guys. They had Ozil for a little bit. Yeah. I don't follow it super closely, but whenever I'm asked who my favorite Premier League club is, and Arsenal is actually a very controversial team to be a fan of. I don't think a lot of people like Arsenal, but I don't know. Because the reason I play with them is because it was the first team that popped up, and I was like, I don't know who any of these teams are. I'm just gonna hit.
You're just making it worse.
I'm just gonna hit the first one. It was the same thing. I'm an Anaheim Ducks fan because in NHL,
oh my god,
in NHL, Anaheim was the first team.
All right,
and
so
you would click on her.
My NHL team for a little bit was the Las Vegas Knights. And,
mine was the Flyers.
And I'm just gonna like be real with everyone. So I'm so sorry if there are Capital fans watching. I was such a hater in 2018. Everyone, I became a LA Knights fan. Or LA Knights, not LA Knights. Like Las Vegas.
Vegas Knights.
Vegas, because just because they were playing the Capitals. Like, and everyone wanted the Capitals. So
that is real. That is real hater stuff right there.
No. So I became a Vegas fan.
Have you guys we can fart around now. Have you guys the Oilers?
Dude, McDavid.
Yeah.
Going bananas.
Dude.
If you guys didn't see, they won there was game 6. They won 4-2 against the Dallas Stars. The fans, have you guys seen the circulation?
Yeah, yes.
Particular famous fan?
Yes, I have. That's why they're winning it all.
That is why they're winning. They got to keep that girl. Look, we're not going to be able to show up, but just to give you guys context, don't know what's going on. There was a woman who flashed her boobs at an Oilers game, and they've been winning ever since. I'm just saying that's what's been going on. And she showed up, I think, at game 6. And I mean, I feel like the Oilers, somebody's got to bring her to every game until they lose. I would imagine.
Unless the team banned her, which I don't think they should have done. But
they also were, very nice.
Okay, I need. This is going.
What do you mean? What?
No, Zach was saying something. I said what?
I'm still texting my friend from Pittsburgh. I know I did not just receive.
Thank you, Joe. Joe just said that. Fandom. Sorry, go ahead.
There is. I know I did not just receive a text and go, "Oh, you also have to have a Pittsburgh salad."
No way.
She goes, we put fries on a salad.
No,
dude, that is just 2 sides put together.
Yeah, that's bullshit. So wait. Are there fries?
What?
They're hot, right? So doesn't it
Yes.
make like the lettuce soggy? I would think so.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I don't know how it works.
Are the fries hot?
Yeah.
The funniest.
So confused right now.
What the fuck?
I've been asked why I'm asking this so specifically.
The
a few
The
times. I just
funniest
have
part
not
of
responded.
the Queen quote was there, and I said this in our chat. There are full out food wars in my comments right now. I haven't been able to keep
I
up,
know.
like all out food wars. Like there's nothing special in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, there's all this special stuff in what is it? Pierogies. And then it's like this whole conversation. So.
That's such bullshit. Do not come at me and say that Pittsburgh has better food and your first argument is pierogies and French fries on a salad.
Yeah,
That's not happening.
no.
The cookie croissant sounds good, but not good.
I'm not making a special trip to Pittsburgh
Not
for a
good
cookie
enough.
croissant.
Yeah.
No.
No, not at all.
No.
How
How about those Panthers though? Beating the Rangers in game 6?
about them? Was there any boobies in that one?
Kodak Black once got crazy at you know what I'm talking about.
God, oh my God.
that went mega viral.
Oh, it still goes viral to this day.
That was bad.
That was so bad.
That was so bad.
Shout out Lamar. That's his boy.
Was it Kodak?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Kodak.
Yeah,
it
was.
was,
It was
Kodak
Kodak?
Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kodak.
The people get wild at hockey games, man.
Dude, I know. People go crazy.
And you know what's crazy is that woman did what she did. She's not going to get banned for life.
No.
They're going to pay her to come back.
Yeah, she's probably gonna get free seats at those next games, especially after how viral she went.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's nothing better to do in Alberta anyway, so you might as well.
That is true.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Ruin the only good thing that's happened to the Oilers by banning her? No way.
No. Also, this is kind of like massive. If Connor McDavid gets the trophy, like he's kind of a Lamar type. Where it's like he hasn't won the big one. Like it's a big, like he's on the big one watch. Like if he wins the big one, they can no longer say he can't win the big one and they have to move on to someone else.
Yeah. Although I think the difference with Lamar is even if he wins one, they're not going to move on.
Yeah. No.
Kevin, don't say that.
Well,
my dream is just to
find.
I know, but but then I won't care. Like, because deep down I'll know he's won it. Right now
me.
It still gets to me.
That's me. That's me with Jokic, where like people have talked so much crap about him for years on end. Then he won the championship, and I was like, I don't care what you say to me. Like he has a ring.
Got it. like exactly.
King of Gaga says, "What's a Primanti sandwich?" That's a restaurant, Primanti Brothers.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like,
but that's all of Pennsylvania. That's not just Pittsburgh, right? Or did they originate?
I think it probably originated. But my point is, if you're pointing to a specific restaurant, that's not food.
No.
Like I get that it's a food item in a restaurant that is in Pittsburgh, but we're talking about a general food item that a city or state is known for. Yeah. And again, it's like you can't point me to a restaurant and say, oh, this is the signature food of, because where's a Primanti sandwich? In Pittsburgh. But that's it.
Yeah.
In other grocery stores across America, you're going to find Maryland crab cakes. You're not going to find Primanti Pittsburgh.
You're not going to find
sandwiches.
Pittsburgh pierogies.
Yeah, exactly.
The hell out of here with that.
Or fries on salad.
God, what did I see? I saw something. Oh, Victoria says that I'm a boob guy. I don't like to choose. I like both. I like both. You like?
Okay,
both?
so apparently sometimes the fries are hot. What? So,
but cold fries aren't good.
No, absolutely not.
Well, I mean, they're not as good. I mean,
no, they're not good at all.
No, it depends on how they're made.
The only thing that like is even remotely close to a French fry that I will tolerate cold is a tater tot.
Yeah,
I'd rather go French fry than tater tot cold.
What about hot French fries versus tater tots?
I'll go.
Oh, that's actually really tough.
Tater tots. I'm gonna go fries because there's more versatility.
Tater tots versus hash browns.
There's more versatility.
Like I'm just thinking of like the different types of fried. I'm just thinking like like you can have curly fries. Like you can like if I'm picking.
That's true. Like you can't have waffle tater tots.
They're sending me pictures of fries on salad. Like that's going to change my opinion. Trust me. I've looked at these are horrible pictures too. These look like McDonald's fries on. Like,
pull it up.
There, I'm pulling this up right now.
Oh, we are officially 7:07 game time for the Orioles. So
good for them.
Conor Norby's debut officially.
And we've officially had a halving of our audience. So
that will happen. that will happen.
Shout out to you guys that are sticking around. I think a couple people will say that whenever we actually overlap the game, they'll just have us on one side, and then
that's awesome. I love that.
Me too. I can't wait till like when we get to a point, and this will happen. I'm willing it to happen that like we get invited to like a Masson thing where like we're live watching the game and then reacting to it. You can go watch the traditional thing with like Kevin Brown and all those guys, but like if you want to come watch us and like fart around and
like the Manning cast,
yeah,
or whatever, yeah.
Or I think McAfee's done that too for like college games or something. But like something like that would be cool.
Actually, speaking of alternate angles, when I couldn't get my ESPN app to work, they made me watch on the Nuggets games for NBA the Above the Rim.
Oh yeah,
I think I told you about this, where there's no commentary; it's just above the rim. And
I'm familiar with the Libra streams.
Okay, well, I got nauseous. By the way, shout out LeBron for using Stream East.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Everybody's like, "Take it down! They're gonna take it down."
Oh, shout out C Money. Did we shout out C Money?
I don't think we did.
C Money.
Oh, C Money.
Thanks for the donate, bro.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I said Man City. My favorite team was Man City because I bet with them through college, made big money.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Everybody kind of Man City's kind of like what the Yankees of.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
Yeah, I was a big build your own like franchise and FIFA guy. And I would always use them or Real Madrid or Barcelona because they had the most money. And I just bring in Ronaldo and Messi every time and win.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt asked where Ryan was. If you guys didn't catch it, Ryan is actually on vacation. He's in Greece right now. He is 6 hours ahead. So it is 1 o'clock in the morning.
He's probably still up.
He's probably still up watching the show, shaking his head because we spent half of the show talking about boobs.
No, about food
and boobs.
And
he gets really uncomfortable whenever I talk about stuff like that.
He's a good kid.
And he is a good kid, though.
We could probably call him and he'd pick up, but we're not going to do that.
Oh, we could call him.
All right, took me a second, but like those are just McDonald's fries on.
That looks like a McDonald's salad.
That looks like the tortilla crisps.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But they are 100% McDonald's fries. This is the best that you have? This is what you have?
Yeah.
This
is horrible.
I mean, I get it, but it's not original.
No, I don't get it at all.
Well, no, I get that they want to have a food item, but it's not original. Like pierogies
It is original. It's just terrible.
Well, I don't say it's original because it's just two things combined, where it's a salad and fries.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like pierogies is okay, like that's its own thing. Like crab cakes is its own thing, but you're just combining salad and fries. That's not original. That's more
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Zach is really invested in this.
Yeah. I'm just like I just can't, like, the more I look into it, I'm just like, what is this argument?
I don't get it at all.
I think I'm just more concerned that the top 3 of their food is just putting fries on a salad and they're all proud of it.
Another one of the funny parts of this is I'm sure Patrick Queen did not expect his food comment to be taken like this.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he was just making a point about the city and like, oh, like the food is awesome and da. But
yeah, that's so. It was PR talk that just turned into this. Like it's really what it was.
I don't even think it was PR talk. I think like
he's just trying too hard.
He meant what he said.
No, he didn't. He's trying too hard. All he wants to do is just create problems.
Look, it's to me. I think
and it's working. Like, you know, it reminds me of like I'm trying to think of a Steelers player that would do bullshit like this. Hines Ward comes to mind when it comes to that kind of stuff. If you want to be a villain on the field.
No, you know
be a Troy Polamalu on the field. Yeah, because like Polamalu.
There you go.
It was intentional.
Oh,
it's like controversy that you love so much.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that was
Polamalu. You know, it was a menace on the field. That was a villain, right? Like, you know, you just jawing doesn't make you a villain, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase and the Chiefs is one of my favorite rivalries. He just talks about them all the time.
But he backs
it up. Yes, yeah. But it's out of nowhere. He'll be asked they're not even playing the Chiefs, and he's just like, "Yeah, I hate the Chiefs." Like it is so funny.
Yeah. Anyways, Troy still gives me nightmares. Oh my god, I was at the game. I don't remember where it was. I don't even know if the game had significance. It might have. Joe Flacco sitting in the back had every chance to go win the game, and then here comes Troy Polamalu.
That was the champion. That was the championship game.
No, it wasn't a championship game. I was at this game. It was at home.
Yes,
I guess he had.
It was like in December. It was close. It was.
Yeah, I think this was like kind of for the division.
Yeah, it was the strip sack in the backfield. And
he had multiple of those against Flacco.
Yeah, it wasn't the only one he had, but I was just at one of the Troy Polamalu strip sacks to end the game, and I was
at the 2006.
Ran it back for a touchdown. It was so bad.
Remember that 2006 all field goals game, divisional against the Colts?
Yeah, I was also at the
game.
I was also at the Mike Tomlin where he had the foot out. I was at
Thanksgiving.
I was on that end zone.
Did you see it happen?
Oh yeah, we all saw it, and the whole crowd was like going bananas.
Yeah,
going bananas.
I was also at the Orioles 30-3 blowout loss to the Rangers.
I was there too.
Where are you sitting?
I was sitting on third base side. No. I'm sorry. I was in the bleachers.
Okay, I was on third base down.
I was in the bleachers because I was poor then. Still poor, but
the guy from the shampoo commercials.
That's where we know him from.
That's the guy.
Head and Shoulders. How can we forget? That's where he's from.
Guy. The tiny Troy.
Yeah, that's a good. I think that's how we should start doing this.
Yeah,
just referring to guys from the commercials.
Were you still being potty trained in 2006?
No, I was.
You were 8.
I was 8. Yeah,
so
8 years old.
Not too far removed then.
I was 8. I knew my way around.
I like how I knew your age before you did.
Yeah, I had to do the math. Zach, I was born in January.
I know,
so.
mine's
Zach
really
was in
easy.
kindergarten.
Mine's really easy because I'm just 2000, so I just like 2006, I was 6 years old.
which is crazy.
That's my brother. My brother was born in 2000.
I was a
so
freshman.
whose name is Zachary, by the way.
I was a freshman in
Good ass dude.
high school, 2000.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. You were stressing over math. And
I
was
could
just
be your father.
And then I just like
Mathematically.
Maybe you are
Yeah.
Zach's father.
but it would have to get really weird, but mathematically, like there would probably be a TV show about it. But
There were TV shows about it.
that's what I'm saying. We would have known. My 13-year-old daughter's pregnant, or all those like shows where they'd have like,
Yeah, teen mom.
yeah,
I'll be team dad. Zach is my kid.
gosh,
This is such
Came out of the womb with a
This
mustache.
is such a touching
just like
family
that.
reunion we're having right now on the
It
Ron
is.
Ripken Show.
It is. Guys, thanks so much for sticking around with us. We're going to call it a night. This has been great. We're going to be back on Thursday,
Cool.
and Kevin and Zach, and maybe even Brad will be back for a post-game analysis after tonight's game. Hopefully Mountie hits 1 million dingers, and Bo Bichette does not have a Monday like he's used to having.
Yes.
One can only hope.
I hope so.
One can hope.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? First do that, and then hit the join button next to subscribe. Become a Rip's Good Kids, one of them, or the Holy Shirts and Pants Club. Either way, we appreciate the support. Thanks for hanging around with us towards the end of the show. We've gotten so bad that now there's only 43 of you guys watching. The show sucks.
Shout out to all 43.
Shout out to you guys.
all 43 people.
You
still
are amazing.
watching. So, well, we'll be back here after the game.
Yeah,
Couple
we'll be back.
hours, 2 Ryan Ripken Show streams tonight.
Where's the music here?
It's top right. Other one. Oh, there we go.
Top left.
Top left. That's on me.
Good job.
From all of us at the Ryan Ripken Show, have a day, have a night. Get the fuck out of here.